And now you have these pods of cult.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't like that. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, you know, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger.
I don't know if you guys have heard it. I'm trying to find it, and I apologize because throughout this recording, I've been looking down at my phone because I was really desperately trying to find this video again. But Jay-Z recently did a video or an interview with
GQ
with GQ magazine, and in that interview, he made comments about not liking the state of hip hop and battle rap specifically, and he used the example of Kendrick versus Drake and how that was damaging and not good for hip hop and the image of hip hop, and how he believes that hip hop rap music has evolved or grown past the
excitement. And I love the sparring and the music you get.
Mm-hmm.
But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes, no matter what he says, and it goes far too. It's like attack on his character and his thing and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth.
And it was wildly crazy to me to hear him have this conversation and sound so very wag my finger, old man on my lawnish, from a man that literally said, I left condoms in the back seat, skeeted in the baby seat. Is that your chick?
And so hopefully,
but like J. Cole, he also apologized for that.
Hopefully when we record on Sunday and have this conversation, that we spend a little bit more time unpacking that full interview, because that was some of the most problematic shit that I've heard somebody say in a long time. That whole video, his whole interview was just like, what in the hell is he talking about? But for that part, I was so like blown away. I was like, what? You grew up in an era where dissing and battling each other on CDs was probably its most popular. Like, but some of our most popular songs that we still bang to this day were rooted in that. I cannot understand where his perspective is coming from, even as an older man.
I mean, to Jay's credit,
love Not Like Us by him. By the way,
to Jay's credit, he did cite that, you know, the biggest difference for him was the amplification and the involvement and the direct involvement of, you know, outside parties in these situations now versus back then. It's like, it doesn't stay confined between these two people. It's like it wrangles in all these other external forces.
But there wasn't outside parties
that can now interact.
The whole East Coast, West Coast outside parties.
This
like
is to say that. I put it this way: like, I see what he was saying, but this is not to say that things were not popping off between cats during that time either. You know, perhaps not on the scale that things are now, but like, you know, on a much more smaller scale, a more incidental scale, where I happen to see them at a party. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Versus, you know, a whole fan base rising up, finding another fan base or finding the artist, attacking them, making a whole thing of it for weeks at a time. You know what I'm saying? That's like that. The only thing that was like similar to that. Well, then again, nothing was as crazy. It was Hot 97 with the Foxy and that shit was out. That shit was out of control. That shit was completely out of control. That shit was completely out of control. I mean, it's hard to come. I could see a bit of where Jay was coming from in terms of the scale of the scale that conflicts get to, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, and from his perspective, seeing hip hop turn 50 and seeing the impact of that particular battle, I can see why he would say that. But is he right to say it from his context? Probably not. He was probably, he probably was, a little short sighted in terms of, the point of reference he represents. You
Like
know what
I
I'm saying
said,
in the story.
I dig his perspective, but at the end of the day, that comment that hip hop has evolved past the battle rap, that sticks in my mind.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't like that. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, you know, I sound like the old guy wagging the thing. But I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing. And, you know, you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
Yeah.
And now it's just like every day they're just trying
Like they're
to
still talking about it.
It's not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like trying to, you know, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Again, I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back.
Yeah.
And we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm gonna say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
Interesting.
I hate that I have this point of view. I do, because I
Yeah.
know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I hate
Because that is essentially the birth of hip hop. And to say ultimately that part of your being, part of the essence of who you are, that you've evolved past that because somehow you felt uncomfortable with this particular battle, like it just makes me, it made me feel some sort of way. I'm like, dog, I maybe because maybe as somebody who has millions and millions of dollars, they say he's a billionaire. Somebody who's a billionaire, I think you've been away from the game for too long, or been away from the people.
I put it this way, yo. It's been 2 years, yo. We still talking about this shit.
You mean the bad? You mean the?
We still talking about this shit, son. The song hasn't even been on the radio in over 10 months. We're still talking about this shit, yo.
Yeah, and
we're still talking about this shit.
Because then you have J. Cole.
Never been a battle I've ever talked about this long in my life.
Never.
And I knew cannabis. And I knew cannabis, nigga.
Yeah.
I knew this nigga.
And I hate Drake. I still can't understand how we just started talking about this.
I knew this nigga. I got demos with this nigga in my basement. Okay? It's the longest battle I've never thought I would talk about battle this long in my life.
But Jay-Z is one of the weirdest individuals on the planet. Like I see why him and J. Cole hung out, because they some two weird ass Negroes right there. Them motherfuckers is.
I think Elle is right. We need to revisit the conversation in terms of the full interview, because there were some other comments. But we'll let that ride. We'll discuss.
I mean, there was a lot of interesting things in there. Some things I felt were unaddressed. You know. But it was interesting nonetheless.
Unaddressed is pretty much.
But I will say this though. But no, I will say this though. The interviewer was excellent, and I hereby have to declare that I think the age of the interview is on the way back.
That he did one thing.
Excellent work.
He asked very
cogent questions. And some inside baseball shit too.
He asked very salient questions.
Some more inside baseball shit, like
it wasn't just a fluff piece
at all.
I'll be fair to him. It wasn't just a fluff piece. Like he did,
and apparently
he put Jay-Z in some spaces where Jay-Z answered some shit in a very, very erroneous and faulty way.
And guess what, y'all? Apparently, this was 30 minutes of a 2-hour interview.
Of
2 2-hour interviews.